Well, as you can see, I have arrived, and there is an excitement in the air. Even as I waited in a line already that I didn't need to wait in, not a problem. The fun is about to begin. Here we go. Kicking things off first today, we have the 40th Star Wars celebration, which is exceptionally exciting just because there is a nebulousness to this panel. No one really knows what exactly is going to happen. It could be a simple retrospective, you know. Cast members from the original film could walk out on stage, wave at the crowd, say, "It was a fun time," and walk away. We'd all scream and go insane. But we could also have Kathleen Kennedy come out there and announce some insane thing, possibly the title of the Han Solo film, possibly, hey you guys, we're gonna do episodes 10, 11, and 12, who knows? So, very excited to find out what that's all about. Cannot wait. And of course, like any good self-respecting convention attendee, I have arrived hours early to collect my credentials in the hopes that I will be able to go to all the panels that I'm hoping to go to today. And the anticipation is mounting as I approach the large convention hall where I will be experiencing my first panel at Star Wars Celebration. All right guys, 40th panel. What do you think we're gonna see? What do you think we're gonna hear? One big thing, what do you think?
Well, a definite is Harrison Ford appearance in one way or another. Whether it's a video
like
message,
ghost, like a Force ghost?
nah, whether it's a video message or him actually coming out on stage.
All right.
2, Kiadi Mundi solo film.
All right.
Yep. I think George Lucas is a possibility.
Lucas, you think so? I think it's 60-40.
All right.
60-40 on which
That
side?
they're like, hey, find a flannel shirt that you like and come on
have
out.
Josh Robert Thompson do it.
Yeah.
I also, as far as news, if they do any news at all, it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be an Obi-Wan standalone film, or it's going to be a Star Wars television show.
All right.
Okay.
I like it. Thanks, you guys. Whew. And there we have it, our first panel under our belt, and what a one it was. And it really wasn't about big revelations or announcements or anything like that. It was just about setting the stage and letting us kind of just reflect on the past and the 1977 film that obviously came out 40 years ago, and those that were involved in making that, and all the fans that created, and then kind of looking to the future. We had this great interaction with, you know, people like George Lucas, you know, the older generation, so to speak, and people like Dave Filoni, who created the Clone Wars television show, on stage together, just talking about how basically this is a generational thing. And they played a couple of amazing little montage and film clips, kind of just celebrating that, one of which focused exclusively on Carrie Fisher, which was very, very emotional, obviously. And then to kind of like just cap it all off, John Williams appeared behind a curtain with a full orchestra, and he played some of the Star Wars songs live for us right there, which was just absolutely outstanding. And again, just being in that room with those people, just being reminded that this is, you know, something that will continue on long after us, and we should rejoice in the fact that, you know, our parents enjoyed it, they passed it on to us, and then we'll eventually get to pass it on to our own kids. And it just set the mood, and I cannot wait for what's going to come next. Obviously, I'm sure other big announcements and stuff like that, but this was just to celebrate Star Wars, which is quite appropriate for Star Wars Celebration. All right, just got to have another panel, which was with Dave Filoni and Pablo Hidalgo, who, by the way, are just excellent and very entertaining, very funny men, and huge Star Wars nerds. More than anything, they really felt like they were one of us. And we have Princess Leia in the background, obviously. And that was really great. And just a few little tantalizing tidbits that they dropped. Dave Filoni did mention that he is continuing to work on Ahsoka Tano stories, ones that he's hoping will appear on screen someday. So I don't know if that's the big screen, the small screen with television, we'll find out. Also, something else that they dropped were some character designs for a particular clone trooper named Rex. He was dressed in some garb that looks strikingly similar to a Rebel Strike Force character from Return of the Jedi, which basically confirms a fan theory that's been going around for a long time that Rex makes it all the way to Return of the Jedi. So that was a pretty fun little reveal. And the final thing that we got, which was really awesome, was a scene that was never used and actually never even finished for Star Wars Clone Wars, because as you guys know, that show was canceled, unfortunately, early. But in this scene, we have Cad Bane and Boba Fett, and Cad Bane has captured a pair of Boba's friends, and to free them, Boba is kind of, you know, forced to face off against him in this good, the bad, the ugly style gunfight. And in it, both characters draw their guns at the exact same time, blasting each other back, and we find out that the iconic dent in Boba Fett's head was actually left by Cad Bane himself. Ah, so good. I just got out of another panel with one of my production design heroes, Mr. Doug Chiang, who worked on the prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3, as well as episode 7 and Rogue One. And on all of those films, but especially the prequels and especially Rogue One, he really took some amazing production design risks, a lot of which, you know, some fans have rebelled against, saying that, oh, the prequel designs are too sleek and they're too dissimilar from those that we found in the originals. But he absolutely stood by why he and George and why he and Gareth chose to design things the way that he did. This is a galaxy that is not too dissimilar to our own in the sense that it's evolving, it's changing. Things don't look exactly the same from decade to decade, and it really is just exciting in the end because we get to see a world that's continuing to evolve and grow and change and kind of keeps us on our toes not knowing what will come next. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what he does in episode 8. I'll do this.
You can't even fit us in the same frame.
I've actually done a little acting in my time. This always is how it was. I would always have to do this, and they put up the girl in the apple box. That's always how it was. So Perry Nimroff.
Yes.
Reflections of the day, just real briefly, what was some of the highlights, what stood out to you?
I'm pretty sure everybody who asked this question to would say that 40th anniversary panel. It was pretty incredible. I mean, we keep talking about when is that moment where they're going to surprise us with new movie news or something like that. It is so refreshing and meaningful and powerful when you can sit in a room and simply celebrate what was nowadays. It was so well done, and the way that they orchestrated the whole thing, where they kept rotating, it was on stage, and then that tribute to Carrie Fisher, which is, like, as a fan, it was kind of what I needed and what I wanted, and then how you roll right into the reveal of John Williams.
Oh my gosh.
That was kind of the oh my god moment of that panel that I'll never forget.
It was so cohesive, it just started to roll over me slowly. I was, like you, expecting revelations, but then slowly I'm like, no. This is about setting the tone. This is a generational thing, one to the next, and how perfect, you know, tribute to Carrie Fisher and everything.
They really did it. They set the tone so well for this whole thing, where, like, what better way to push people into the rest of celebration than to get them all rah-rah about why we're here and why we love it so much, without having to touch anything in the future, and get you leave feeling so satisfied.
The power of Star Wars.
Job well done.
Thank you, Perry.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Well, there you have it, guys. End of day number 1. And what a day it was. I am gonna head home, I'm gonna crash, decompress, and come back bright and early tomorrow morning for, you know it, the Last Jedi panel. I am insanely excited for that, if you can imagine. And until then though, guys, have a great one.